Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're doing a how to build for the brand new Red Valentine's Day Jorm. So this Jorm is a rat specialist character. Her passive only works in rat. Her relic only works in deer, so her relic doesn't actually work, but you still get the basic stats from it, which is kind of good. Anyway, let's get on with her kit, how she performs, and everything like that. Okay, first we'll go with substats. Substats are pretty mid. All round. Her crit defense is surprisingly high for how bad the rest of her stats are. She also has a very high lifesteal stat for, once again, how bad her stats are. But that's really it. Pierce rate's pretty standard. Resistance is very low. Crit chance is low. Crit damage is low. Crit resistance is low. Crit defense is like low, but it's not on the like seriously low end. Regeneration rate, recovery rate I don't really care about. Lifesteal is actually very high. That's very high lifesteal, which is really good. Now if we go on to her skills, she has a remove buff skill, level 1, removes buff skill level 2, and removes buffs and stances at level 3. Multiplier isn't too big of an increase from level 1 to level 3, but you'll compile quite good damage with level 1s and level 2s to the point where level 3s aren't really worth it, even for the stance removal. Her other skill is an AoE skill, which is bleed, standard AoE bleed skill. Once again, because she's a rat specialist character, she does have this debuff, which is sort of needed, so it's not too bad. The damage is normally like really bad, but once again, you're only really using it for the fact that it applies bleed. That's it. Her ultimate, standard Jorm ult, increase all allies damage dealt. 1/6 will be 7%, because I have 2/6, it's 14%. Once again, you add 7% per roll level, and that's when you get to max, which is 42% is 6/6. And inflicts damage equal to 693% of attack on one enemy, which is really good. For some reason I thought her ult was AoE. Don't know why. I just had this assumption that her ult was AoE. I don't know. Once again, this unique ability only activates in Demonic Beast Battle Rat. So it only works in the rat. All of this only works in rat. Increase all stats of allies by 7% for each allied participating in battle. That is 28% all stats for every ally. So her horrendous substats don't look too bad anymore, because they're being severely boosted by her own passive, which is fine. Increase allies' defense-related stats by 10% every time the hero uses a skill to apply bleed on an enemy, up to a maximum of 30%. So, it's every time you apply bleed. So once again, if there's 3 enemies on the field, we're in rat, turn 1, you play the AoE skill, boom, you immediately get 30% defense-related stats. You don't have to play the skill 3 times, you just have to apply bleed to 3 different enemies, or 3 different times, which is what it counts applying it to 3 enemies at once, is 3 different times. So, turn 1, you start with 58% defense-related stats, so her absolutely horrendous crit resistance becomes about 116%, which is not too bad. It's like standard. Some characters nowadays have more than that. Her crit defense is actually pretty good at that point. Crit chance and crit damage are increased by 28%, but once again, then you've got the buff from LR Liz, as well as the buff from Valenti as well, Blue Valenti, which really makes her attack-related stats sort of go to what I'd consider a normal level, to a point where she can crit every now and again, which is good to see. We'll keep going through her passive. Increase the hero's damage dealt with single-target skills by 200%, so once again, that 1/6 ultimate, or 2/6 ultimate, or whatever, will hit damage cap, because not only have you got all the buffs, you've got the insane 200% damage increase. And it also means the single-target skill also does a nice chunk of damage as well. Better than Glock's, which is always an improvement, I guess, but definitely not like stupid amounts like DPS level. Her ultimate is like DPS level, it's really good. And then the hero's ultimate move gauge fills by 1 every time the hero uses a single-target skill. That does include the ultimate, so when you play the ultimate, you end up with 1 extra ult gauge as well. Playing the single target will also give you 1 as well. It's not capped at how many you can get per turn, so if you like spam like 2 of them, you get 4 ult gauge. You get 1 for playing the skill, 1 for the passive, 1 for playing the skill, 1 for the passive. So it's pretty good. And then the most broken part applies detoxification on allies for 3 turns when the hero uses an ultimate move. And what does detoxification do? You don't take damage from food poisoning debuff. It can still be applied to you, but you do not take damage from it. This buff is blue, which is a slight problem once again, because like rat on floor 3 has petrified, means it can remove buffs, but as long as you're once again farming ultimate, she has a way to sort of farm her own ultimate, you will be okay, and there's not really any problems there. She's pretty good with it. Once again, Relic doesn't work. Relic only works in deer, so it's useless, but once again, it's still worth getting. Well, if you're doing rat, you should be able to do this. You should be able to do deer anyway. But yeah, her Relic's worth it, even just for the basic stats. I did actually upgrade her Relic just to make sure she had even more basic stats, and she would tank a little bit better, because I wasn't sure how the team would tank at first. But the team tank's like lovely. As long as you've got like the optimal team, you've got LR Liz, you've got Valenti, and you've got this Jorm, you are tanking very well. Not only have you got insane HP boost, you've got a really decent bit of bulk, you've got healing from Liz, you've got cleanse from Liz. You know, Jorm can ult rush, which is like good damage. She's got bleed skill. Valenti's got the other 2 debuffs you need. Just a really good general team overall. And the big important thing, gear. I've just given HP defense. I've just found a random HP defense set that just was not on anyone and given it to her because it's what she needs. Even with HP defense, she can still damage cap an enemy, damage cap the rat with her ult, which is really good. I just don't think you need attack defense. You don't want to risk her taking too much because once again, her defense-related stats are still not the best. Even with all that boosting, it puts it on par with like your average character nowadays. Like if I was to have a look at LR Liz's crit resistance, bear in mind even with all the defense-related stats, she would only be 116%. If we look at LR Liz, yeah, Liz has only got like 6% less, and that's without all those passive boosts, and they're both on the same team. So there's quite a large difference between them. Outfits wise, a lot of these we've been given for free. The only one that's not for free that I own is this bikini one. That came out at the time where you could buy event outfits with diamonds. That doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, you got the Hall Pass one from ages ago. You've then got like all of the event ones we've had over the times. Weapons wise, I didn't actually grab the snake weapon, which I wish I did. That put me at 4 weapons. But headgears wise, we've got a lot. This Jorm gives you 2. I've then got the snake one from the Hall Pass. I've then got the headgear from the Commander set. I've then got the standard one, and then you've got the affinity one for Green Jorm. So yeah, generally, she is a super good character. If you got her, you definitely want to build her. I've True Awakened her as well, just once again for Rat, just to guarantee she has quite a bit of bulk, because that is a problem on Rat, as long as you can take lots of damage really quickly. But as long as you're running a very optimal team, with this Jorm, with, you know, once again, like I say, Valenti and LR Liz, you'll be completely fine. Your bulk is insane, your healing is insane, sometimes you don't even have to heal for several turns, because your team has like 48% lifesteal. Jorm has about 50 sight because she has absurd amounts of lifesteal anyway. But 48% lifesteal is a lot, and it means you can lifesteal, you can heal yourself without having to play list skills every turn, and that was quite a defining factor of Rat. It's constantly having to pull list skills to make sure your team's alive, and now we don't have to do that because of Jorm. It's really good, and I'd highly recommend building her if you have her. Once again, HP defense, she needs to tank as much as possible. But no, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.